Wife cheated and manipulated our kids. I don't know what to do? Plus update. Part 1. Me and my wife have been married for 11 years. We have 2 children together. We were together for 15 years. I earn a decent living and earn up to 400-500k a year. But at times, I have to do projects which require traveling. Our marriage was good with several ups and downs. In October 2019, I had to travel to Europe for work. I stayed there for a month. When I got back from the work, everybody was a bit distant and cold towards me. They didn't came to receive me at airport. I had to call an Uber. They ignored my talks and only communicated with me when necessary. I had doubts, so I asked my daughter, why is she acting rude towards me? She just said, hope you had fun at your business trip. This was out of her character. Few days pass and I am confused about the situation. I asked my wife multiple times about their behavior. She always said that they were tired of long day at school. One night, I was checking my email on my family iMac. As I was finishing my work, I noticed that my wife's account is logged in. I thought of opening messages. I saw that one of her colleagues was on the top. I opened their conversation and scrolled through entire page, seeing their flirting, texting and exchanging nudes. They planned on meeting at hotels. Apparently, she had ended things with him because she was feeling too guilty about it. I confronted her. She cried and begged me to give her another chance. I had anger issues in past, so I simply took a drive to my brother's house and spent the night there. Next day when I came home, kids had already gone to school. She asked me to sit down on the couch to talk. She said that she was feeling alone at the time and he apparently made her feel special. I asked her about timeline and said that if she lied, I would give her divorce. She told me every detail. She slept with him once at the end of affair. She felt disgusted afterwards. She said she had too much guilt and ended things with him. I told her that I would divorce her. I contacted lawyer and told him to start preparing the papers. As we had a prenup signed, so divorce was an easy option. I went to my room and opened my Mac to collect some proof of her infidelity. To my surprise, she had deleted all of it. Next day, she threatened me to not divorce her or she will take away our kids. She told them in the beginning of my work trip that I had an affair and had gone to see my girlfriend when in reality, I had gone for work. She made fake conversations of me and other girl. She also told them that I would leave them alone on streets to be with my girlfriend. She had manipulated them so much that they were convinced that I was the bad guy. In our country, if parents get a divorce, then the custody of children would be given to the parent by kid's choice. I was helpless at this point. I canceled divorce and proceeded to reconcile. It's been almost a year that I am going through this shite. My kids don't respect me like they used to, they don't show affection. My wife has been keeping the secret from my children. She also has been treating me like a crap. Our bedroom is dead and I haven't made love in 7 to 8 months. Because of all the stress at home, I stay out of home most of the time. I go home only to sleep at night. This led to an emotional connection with one of my colleagues for past month. She is also divorced. Her husband cheated on her and left her for another girl in another continent. We have long talking sessions, dinners, and movie nights. I have been deprived of love and affection at my own home. I have told my wife to start showing affection. I try to kiss her, hug her, but I am always turned down. Last week, I got intimate with my colleague. This was first time love making I was having in 9 to 10 months. It was the best love making of my life. I have come here looking for an advice. Should I divorce my wife and be with my colleague? Or should I just live this double life? I have never been loved or appreciated in my home, but my colleague appreciates everything I do for her. If I leave my family, then my kids will think that their mom's claims were right. I will be the bad guy in the eyes of my kids for life. Any advice? Update. As I read comments of my previous post, many of you had doubts that she is still having an affair or sleeping with someone else. I don't think that's possible. Since her affair in October, she left her job as soon as I discovered the affair, and then we installed cameras in our house and I could see the live view of camera whenever I want. She barely goes out and just watch Netflix while eating snacks. She has also gained around 60 to 70 pounds in this period of time. So hiring a PI for investigating that if she is having ongoing affair is not reasonable to me. Many of you suggested of recording her conversation with me about her affair. This was a solid move, thanks to Reddit. I also recovered my old messages and receipts to give my kids proof that I was on work trip last year. Also, many of you suggested to recover texts and pictures from my Mac using some professional help, but my wife is tech specialist, so I don't think that she would leave any evidence. I ordered good quality small and portable voice recorder. I, also, planned a trip to my parents' house with the kids as I wanted alone time with them to describe the situation. They love their grandparents, so I knew they would never deny the trip. I also told my whole plan to my colleague and requested her to understand my situation. She was very supportive and told me that she would not contact me for a whole week except for work-related issues. On Wednesday, my voice recorder arrived at my office. On Thursday evening, I drove my kids to my parents' house. They stayed there, but I returned to my house after dropping off kids. I spent the night at my house with my wife. I started voice recorder and kept it in my pocket. I tried to initiate intimacy with my wife, but she was ignoring me. I asked her what she has done for me in the past year other than manipulating my kids against me. She started shouting and said, "I'll make sure they never know the truth and you'll never able to give me divorce." I asked her if she would ever be intimate with me, to which she answered by saying, "I have no interest in lovemaking, but you have. So it's not my problem. Go look somewhere else for it." I said that I am not like her and would never break my vows for an affair like she did. At this point, she was angry and said, "I had an affair because you left me lonely and treated me like crap. If you want, you can have one too. But don't disturb me." She was so loud that even our neighbors would have heard that. I got the proof I needed to prove my children I was not a cheater. On Friday, I took voice recorder in office, edited the audio and saved it on multiple devices. I also collected other proofs of me at work on business trip last year. In evening, I went to my parents' house and spent the night. On Saturday morning, I sat down with kids and told them my side of story. They obviously didn't believe me until I showed them proof. My daughter started crying. My kids hugged me and assured me that they will never hate me or act rude towards me in future. To be honest, this was the moment I was waiting for a year. That night was the best night of my life. I never had felt so close to my kids in years. On Sunday, I called my wife and told her that me and kids were going on vacation and would not be able to contact her for next 3 to 4 days. I also contacted my lawyer and told him to prepare the divorce papers. Now here I am with my kids preparing for mountain climbing. I haven't told the kids about my colleague. I also plan to start family therapy with my kids so that my communication with them can improve. I am planning to tell them about my colleague after divorce during therapy.